For week 3 of this course, we then move towards the idea of an assessment process. Identify what processes go into assessments, how we should look at designing them, and the ways we can utilize them to make them more purposeful and more effective. First, we see this with the assessment process. This is a 5-step process in which we are able to create an assessment and understand what we are trying to say with it and what we are trying to get the students to gather from the assessment. The 5 steps here are identifying learning goals, co-developing success criteria, use descriptive feedback to make the learning visible, evaluate, and report/formally communicate learning. Here, this walks us through the entire process of assessments, from start to finish. This is essential for us to learn and has really shaped my idea of being an educator, understanding that the process, while it seems so obvious, it is something that extends from just material. We are taking into account, we are preparing work for students, preparing how we are going to deliver assessments and material and curriculum. And then it gets extended way out after to showing them, hey, here's where you are. Here is where we can help you grow as a learner, making sure that you understand the material at hand and what we can do to help you understand more material going forward and work on bits that you're struggling with. This is then tied into the idea of backward design, what goes into creating the assessment. Here is to identify the desired results, knowing what we want out of this assessment first. What is the main purpose of why we are teaching this, why we are assessing on this? Then this moves to determine assessment evidence, making sure that we understand what exactly goes into assessment, how what information we're able to put on here to deliver to students so they're able to process and understand. Then, finally, it is to plan learning experience and instruction. This is planning a sequence of lessons and tasks that is going to help shape students and prepare them for the assessment to come. Knowing what we want, this is essential in us knowing what we want from them, and then designing our course and curriculum. Not more so curriculum, but our course and the way we deliver information to cater to that, knowing that this is the overall goal in which we are working up to. We then see this related to the idea of content standards and performance standards. So for content standards, that is outlining the overall and specific expectations you have for every subject within a grade. So we can see this here with the specific tasks, success criteria, learning goals, specific expectations, and overall expectations we have within each subject. This outlines what students should know within the minutiae of a unit, understanding exactly how this translates to something else, and giving us specific examples of ways we could demonstrate this learning. This is then tied to the performance standards. This is then described as the assessment in which students are compared and evaluated on. We see here the clear expectations given. For example, we see this with levels 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we are understanding where they are within this curriculum and within this rubric that we have given them. This is tied also directly to the nature and purpose of classroom assessment. This is to understand exactly just where our class is as a whole, seeing if, even as an educator, if we're doing a good enough job, making sure that we are giving formative and purposeful assessments and lessons that are impacting these students. The first and foremost thing we want to make sure is that students are learning and are having an enriching experience within school. I can also tie this to then within this week for my weekly exit ticket, as I stated, within the time of this given that I created this, that I was struggling with the amount of coursework we were getting, having 8 classes at the time, and then this big summative assessment at the end was getting a little daunting to me. And this is just something that I've had to work on and make sure that I am self-monitoring and ensuring that I'm staying up to date on everything.